Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Luyombya. I'm here in wonderful Uganda, and it's a pleasure to talk to you at the Buganda Convention 2020 about my life here in Uganda and the challenges I've faced, especially in farming. I came here originally in 2008, and to be honest, I didn't envision I'd stay here this long. Thought it would just be a brief journey in my life. I was born and raised in UK and from Ugandan parents. My clan, I'm a Buganda, Balangira clan, and to be honest, I felt like a British citizen complete. So I didn't really see myself returning to Uganda at all. But in 2008, things changed. Financial crisis hit. I went to university in UK and studied actuarial studies. So I envisioned myself in the financial sector. So I had no history in farming at all. But eventually I came back to Uganda in 2008, and I was lucky enough to acquire a piece of land in Gariraya, Kayunga. This was some time back, but it was an opportunity that I couldn't say no to. And I'm happy that, especially now, of what actually transpired. And to be honest, it's the first few months was the hardest. I'd say by the time it came to about 2012, that's when I really started living my life in Uganda. Not to say that it was a disappointment, but it took me time to assimilate, to build up the courage, because it really does take a lot of courage to start life in UK, in Uganda. But the 8 years I've been here, I've been involved in different sectors, obviously agriculture, but the education sector, healthcare, now involved in manufacturing and retail. And to be honest, what I learned in farming has actually helped me immeasurably. And as a result, I feel that things have actually gone better than I've expected. So when I first came over and first started farming, the first day that I remember going there, it was daunting. I remember the plane ride from UK to Uganda, feeling like this isn't what I want to do, but I know there was something in me. I'm quite stubborn and persevered, but it didn't compare to the first day when I left Kampala to go to Gariraya. So business at the end of the day, in Uganda it has its challenges, but I was able, by making contacts, to meet prominent business individuals, and they kind of gave me the courage and the motivation. One man who I ran into through my father was a gentleman called Paul Serukenia, and I can't even begin to explain how much he kind of influenced me. So about Gariraya, the land that we acquired was 1 square mile, or just over. It's 670 acres. It was right next to the lake. When I arrived, it was just bush, thorny bushes, savanna region. It's on the cattle corridor. And I remember going there to visit the place when we first bought it with an agronomist, and he gave me a sound piece of advice. Initially, I wanted to get involved in biofuel, a plant called jatropha. So I came with the idea that this is what I want to do. I want to grow jatropha, and I'm going to make oil and do something completely different. Boots on the ground, things changed very quickly. I remember he looked at me and he said, "Do you want to start growing with jatropha? Are you sure it will grow there?" I said, "Well, we've done the soil tests. I don't see why not." But the first thing he said was, "Look, when you start farming, grow what's on the land, grow what's in the region. Start there and learn the land, learn the area, learn the community. It's not just about going there and starting something from scratch. It's about building something, because what you'll find is that the land, it's not a set piece. It's not stationary. It's a physical thing." But the first thing he told me to get involved with is grow what's on the land. So we started with maize, and we didn't have any machinery at the time, because I wanted to know whether or not we can manage. And I'm one of those individuals, the people that I work with, I want to be able to do whatever they're able to do. I want them to see that I'm not just some Mzungu who's come from outside and started, growing on the land. And it was something that I heard from a lot of people. Everyone expected us to fail. We had to deal with so many different challenges, things I had no idea. You had Nile monitor lizards. These were the things which didn't come in the handbook when you're reading about farming. But you had to learn just to kind of be courageous. But these were the things that you didn't anticipate. But it's a learning experience. But those 10 acres set us on our way, because the following season we brought in the tractors, brought in bulldozers, cleared the land. And that was a big project, because it was 150 acres that we cleared the first time. And when we cleared it, I thought everything was fine. I thought, okay, fantastic. Tractors came in, planted the maize. Thought, okay, we can now move on from here. 2 days after clearing, the first thing I realized was that some grass and the weeds had already started coming out, and that was the next challenge. But the following season we cleared more land, and it became a big project which we were proud of. As well as getting involved in maize, we also started raising goats. It's quite profitable. I wish I'd got involved in it a lot earlier, but we were raising goats which we predominantly sell during the festive season. And then we're now starting a breeding program, intensive breeding program. So we hope to see that succeed as well. Aside from that, we were able to introduce ourselves to two prominent companies. We realized when we did testing on our product, the maize that we're producing, it was actually very good for baby food. So we approached two companies, Maganjo Millers and East African Basic Foods. And we approached them and said, look, we're able to provide you with a product, maize, on a consistent basis. And I think they were quite happy by the quality and the message that we were bringing forward. In that, number one, we weren't reliant upon them having cash straight away. We really wanted to veer away from that. With the companies that we're working with, what they've previously been doing was acquiring a lot of their products, maize and grain, from brokers. And what they do is that they go into the village and then they pick them from various farms. What they liked about us was that we were able to provide them a product which was consistent, and because it was from one garden, we can guarantee that the first truck we bring to them was going to be the same as the 15th truck. And that was convenient, and it was something that they liked, and that's something that I think other farmers can try and employ, especially those who want to get into commercial farming. We then, I've already mentioned the fact that we had tractors and other such things, but a lot of those we sourced from outside, from UK. We're very fortunate in that we were able to get things quite cheap, bring them in duty free, and then use them here. But what you have to do, and this is very important, is you have to get machinery certified, like manufacturer certified mechanics, people who know how to handle these big machines, because first thing that will happen is that you start work, you need to service the machine, you spend a lot of money, and either it breaks down. The worst time is during the planting season, where you need someone at the drop of a hat to turn up. The last thing you want to be doing is faffing around trying to find someone who can come and fix your tractor. And the worst thing you can do is leaving it in the hands of someone who will claim, and especially in Uganda, a lot of people will claim that they know what they're doing. They will never admit that, okay, I have absolutely no idea what's going on, and they'll do something and destroy what you have, and they won't care. During my time in Uganda, I've had to overcome many challenges, and I've learned not to be disheartened by failure. I think one of the challenges that I found in Galilei was that it was quite extreme. Not only the environment, the community, but it was, the community actually helped me. They saw me after a while as not just a Mzungu, but someone who wanted to build the community and help it thrive. It wasn't just there to make money. So we set up a 20-acre banana plantation in Blamezi, which is in Wobelenzi. This was family land. Obviously we had some issues when starting, but this was land that was left unused. And we took advantage of that situation. Slowly started to build it up, and 2 years later we're reaping the benefits. But as in maize, we didn't want to just sell it to brokers, so I set up a small market here in Kampala where we sell our matoke. After the success of the market, I actually felt that it was time to kind of start something different. So we started rearing chickens. First it was a hobby. We're rearing broiler chickens, which are voracious eaters. And we found that we actually had quite a bit of market for that, selling it outside. And it's something that is kind of unexpected.
Or each entrance has what we call the foot bath for us to disinfect ourselves. As you may see, for everyone who comes in, you're supposed to disinfect just to keep the biosecurity measures in place. Because for moving different areas, they may carry disease-causing vectors to our farm. So these ones, they are now 4 months, or they have reached their selling age. They were 300, and now I think we have like 80 to 90 left. So just as I told you, we need to keep constant market. We don't just give them or we all sell them at once. So what we do, like in a day we may sell like 3 to 2, depending. But we need to keep supplying each and every day. That's why we just have to retail them. Just as you saw in front there, that's where we normally put them for the retail. So these are the older ones which are being sold. Just as I told you, we normally have in different stages. As these ones are going out, we normally have those other levels.
But it's leading us into other things. So we're also going to be, I bought some fish boats, so we're going to be also selling fish here in our market and other products. So hopefully this will blossom. So as I said before, it was very difficult to find people who you can trust. So by bringing in, and especially young people, my farm manager, this is a man who's now running a 670-acre farm. He graduated from Makerere. He had no experience in farming, and he graduated in psychology.
My name is Joe Corrigan. I work for Peter Luyombya. I work for St. Paul's Farming in Gaira, and I did psychology at Makerere University. And why I'm the best person for farming is because I know how to interact with people.
So at the time, everyone was just like, why are you employing him? Why are you giving him the keys to the kingdom? But what I actually found was that his skills were quite transferable. Number one, he was open-minded and he was a voracious learner. But there are other considerations that you have to take into account when considering moving to Uganda. One of the things is the lifestyle. Uganda is a beautiful country. It's a country with so many opportunities. We've never looked back. I mean, people come and then see what we're doing, and I think they don't appreciate the quality of life. But everything that you want in UK is here. Everything you want in Europe is here.